Welcome to Crypto Smasher. Here we do deep dives into all things crypto. If you want to stay informed of our content, then be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Full disclaimer, nothing in this video or other content on this channel is created as investment advice, only purely for informative purposes. In light of the recent announcement that Crator will be delayed, I decided to seek out the immediate community responses to provide some community perspective on this delay and how it is being viewed. I have curated 8 comments which approach the issue from different angles, but you can imagine the news has not been widely accepted as positive. Let's begin. Comment 1. If there is a short delay, so be it. I'd much prefer a fully working utility with no bugs. It's a public beta release, so 1,000 selected members first, then a ramp up over the following days/weeks. I'm invested in EGC for the long term, so I'm not worried at all. Comment 2. However, endless short delays still equal 0. This is not the first time. Since launch many things have been promised and not delivered. Sam was talking about top exchanges and proposals they've seemed to implement tokenomics before listing. This never happened and they pretended like it was never even brought up by them. Instead, we got a Bitmart listing. Utilities were supposed to be by the end of 2021. That turned into an AMA on Crator in January, beta by end of January, etc. Now a Q1 release is beta for 1,000 by the end of March. They can share videos and screenshots, but that's not proof of anything. I'm sad to say they have delivered close to 0 on what was voluntarily committed to. Comment 3. In my honest opinion, it's not rocket science, but they keep saying it is. I've seen dozens of platforms like this created in about 3 to 4 weeks. Nothing about their coin was rocket science either, because it was forked, and making your own crypto wallet software is, I'll advise, because the tech for it is pretty much available as white label in many flavors. You saw how long they took for a mere website. They are just keeping investors warm, hoping for some miracle, in my honest opinion. Comment 4. But how do you even know they are working hard on it at this point? How do we know if they even have anything for us? They said NFT marketplace is ahead of schedule, and all of a sudden it's not getting released. Crator, they were going live with 1K testers months ago. We aren't seeing any progress, so how the hell are people so sure they even have something? Honestly, I couldn't care less about what Sam is saying at this point, as he is just hype, but when it comes to delivering something, we get nothing. Comment 5. It is dated. In no professional environment does Q1 mean 31st of March. It was obvious when they weren't able to confirm dates, marketing, etc. weeks ago. The team has issues delivering. Planning and announcing is easy but meaningless. Comment 6. I feel like there's been nothing but fumbles lately. 3 months of new utility/partnership announcements with nothing to show. Deadlines have been pushed back repeatedly, and people are getting upset. This is embarrassing. I'm all for things being pushed back in order to have a clean product at launch, but the lack of transparency is beyond me. I have a strong feeling that the team knew that Crator and/or NFT marketplace was going to be pushed back, but they chose to say nothing in hopes to buy more time. Also, Evergrow coin needs to hire a PR/marketing team ASAP, and not some no-name firm. Many other small crypto projects have 10x better marketing and communication than we've displayed in the last few months. Just my opinion. Comment 7. I think part of the problem, and people have been saying it repeatedly, is that these delays are now getting predictable, i.e., they consistently fail to meet deadlines. It's true that we're hearing the same message over and over. From the first AMA, it's time to get serious. Okay, so what's been going on since? Additionally, as others have pointed out, it's really a failure to focus. It seems like Evergrow coin wants to do everything at once, and have a big grand reveal. It seems clear that what they really need is a good project manager, probably a certified PMP. A vision with poor execution is what we're seeing here. Commenting. I've been worried over the last month about how they've been handling this. With products, utilities like these, they should have known well over a month ago if they were on track to launch at the end of Q1. The fact that no launch build-up or marketing started with even a month to go showed that they knew they wouldn't be ready at the end of Q1. With a month to go for launch, the products should have been ready with only last-minute changes/adjustments to make. If they weren't at that stage, then they should have known they weren't going to be ready and should have just communicated the truth to investors. That would have been more professional and less damaging than pretending everything was okay and stringing investors' expectations along only to backtrack at the last minute. I'm in Evergrow coin for the long run, but honestly it's getting more frustrating as time goes on, as to start with it was promising and it was easy to have confidence in Sam and the team. But after things which haven't been delivered, like repeatedly saying we've come up with a solution which will have holders earn volume for centralized exchange trading, only to then have nothing like that at all, just a workaround which is just tax from decentralized to centralized exchange, not actually trading volume. The backpedal saying nothing like that was said despite it being on multiple recorded AMA, hence why the price tanked upon Bitmart listing, because people saw they were lied to about centralized exchange volume so they left. Or saying that the NFT and Crator would be ready within a couple of weeks, back at the end of October, then showing no signs they would even have been remotely ready. It makes that look like they will say anything even with the knowledge that they aren't ready to / can't deliver on it at that stage. Even little things like we'll have a mini AMA catch-up just after Christmas, and a full AMA on Crator end of January, then being silent until almost the end of January before finally responding to investor calls for an update, just show signs of statements racking up and not really being delivered on. I've seen Sam recently reply to a tweet about Crator saying the deadlines are arbitrary. You can't set out deadlines for investors, then when they raise concerns about the progress being on track, just tell them deadlines are irrelevant. A lot of investors have kept with the project on the promise of it and the confidence in Sam and the team, but that confidence will drop and investors will leave the longer it goes on with the utilities not being delivered up on time and more the team keep trying to hide delays rather than just being open about them early on. What also doesn't help is the echo chamber of the Telegram chat, which even with a few days to go is mostly mods and admins going Q1 is still a few days away, so they are still on track to launch. Technically true, but again not realistic, as if things were finished and ready we'd have been seeing actual build-up/launch plans etc. a month ahead of time. When it comes near to a product launch you set an actual date and time, you don't leave it as end of Q1 with weeks/days to go. The Telegram chat had a nice community vibe in the early months, now it's a mind-numbing place with mostly conversations between the mods/admins, and with them chalking up every price drop to it's because the market is down. Sometimes this is the case, but you can't just blame every sell on the market being down, especially when we continue to drop or go sideways when the market goes back up. Since before Christmas this is down a lot more than just dropping in line with the market, that happens, people sell, but mods/admins constantly screaming it's the market every time just comes across as blind ignorance. Yes, the team has accomplished things like the SafeMoon thing, but a handful of billboards are just a smoke and mirrors distraction from what people originally invested in. Likewise, this recent 1-minute ecosystem trailer video, great, but let's face it, that's just dropped to draw people's minds off of Crator not being delivered when it should be. And also not a sign of progress, as let's face it, that took someone a couple of days at most. We're probably going to be in for really painful price action over the next couple of weeks depending on how the team handles investors who kept believing the team that there were no delays, only to find out at the last minute that things still won't be delivered on time. I just hope they deliver in the long run and that we can recover. That's the end of the comments insight on the Crator launch delay. I hope you gained some fresh perspective on the matter. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.